Hi, I'm Deanna.
Hey, I'm Mike.
We're here to tell you about the Game Discovery Exhibition. GDX is a celebration of games in Alberta, and it's for both developers and players of games in the community. This year, the event will be a 2-day event with speakers, panelists, board games, gaming tournaments, and locally made games for attendees to enjoy.
GDX 2015 was a huge success with over 650 attendees, guests from BioWare, Extra Life, Microsoft, Beamdog, and many more that I can't name off the top of my head anymore. So as we prep for GDX 2016, we asked some of our guests among the developers and speakers to tell us about their fondest memories and what they're most looking forward to for this year's iteration.
Our vision for this year is to get bigger and better so that we can bring more people from the community to games that they love to play. We'll see you in May.
My name's Clifford. I'm the lead developer and owner of EgoAnt Productions, and I'm working on a game called Dot. I'm supporting GDX because I started my game here at the Makerspace in Edmonton. I didn't really know that it was going to go anywhere, and my first experience with GDX was they were really enthusiastic, they really helped out, and the booth space was really nice and cheap, and it got my game in front of a lot of eyeballs, and that really gave me the motivation to keep going with the game and to build it into what it's become. My favorite moment was when I was showing off the game and I had someone come up to the game, and it was just a little kid. He kept coming back to the booth. Eventually, I said, wow, you must really like the Oculus Rift. And because I was showing a game on the Oculus Rift, I just expected everyone was coming for the Oculus Rift, and he said, no, I love this game. It was such a neat moment for me because VR is so new. I'm used to everyone wanting to put on that headset and not really caring that much about what the game was. It's always great to get my game in front of new players. I get such valuable feedback from that. So just being able to be there and interact with other developers and with people who want to play my game is such an important thing, especially since I'm working on a multiplayer game.
My name is Andrew David. I'm the director and lead developer of MADSOFT Games, also the organizer of Game Camp and MadGen. I think that Edmonton has a lot of potential in terms of game development, but I feel like there's not enough events or organizations taking advantage of that potential and pushing Edmonton more towards what it can be. And I find that GDX is one of the things that Edmonton really does need. The Game Discovery exhibition, I think, brings together a lot of these game developers that otherwise would have no means of meeting each other and playing each other's games and giving each other some feedback, and overall just fostering growth in Edmonton's game development community and industry. At GDX 2015, we had a booth and I was a speaker on a panel. And I really enjoyed actually listening to what a lot of local developers thought about game development. They'd ask questions that I normally wouldn't get when I answer questions via email or at other events I've participated outside of Edmonton, and it was really interesting. At the same time, I found that there's a lot more interest in video games than I thought there would be, despite the smaller, tight-knit community. I really enjoyed watching kids especially play our games, and a lot of people dropping by the booth and playing the games, and just watching how happy they were to see that these games were coming out of Edmonton, and it's amazing. I want to see a lot more game developers, not just students, but also people that have been doing it for a long time but have never had the chance to really leave their studio or their home or participate in the community some more. I'd like to see a lot more panels take place, not all at the same time, so that people have the chance to listen to what all these AAA industry veterans have to say and not just have to choose one to listen to.
My name is Jordan Bloemen.
I'm Logan Gilmour.
And I'm Satchwill.
And we are
33 Games.
There it is.
I would say for GDX in particular, my attachment comes to it from the fact that we actually basically had our first build of our game, Run Gun Jump Gun, was motivated to be ready for the first GDX. Like the whole reason we made it basically was, we have to have a deadline. This is a deadline, and we just did it. And so, you know, getting with like some of that feedback was like, you know, basically like grounded our whole game, and that was sort of the build that like set us on our path to, you know, submitting it to Indicate and doing a bunch of testing and building and ultimately getting greenlit on Steam.
Yeah, and as for making games, why it's important for Albertans, it's something that we can get into. We're sort of tech-savvy people, and it's not sort of relying on these unsustainable resources. And it's just it's a great way of diversifying.
You can do it when it's snowing.
Yeah.
Cold. It's an indoor activity, both the making and the playing.
Yeah. I think everyone in Alberta probably grew up playing video games because I was stupidly cold in this year. So it kind of makes sense to turn around and start making them and kind of have the know-how, sort of, to make games. For me, it was seeing people play it, I think for the first time. That was the first time we got to watch someone like hold the game in their hands and actually interact with it. That was really, really cool for us. That was, you know, GDX was such a benchmark for us to hit. You know, we want to have a good build out by GDX. Put in so much time and so much effort, and it kind of puts you at the bottom of this deep valley of just like exhaustion. And then to have it turn around and have people play it and enjoy it and say nice things about it and want to know more about it was such a great, you know, it was kind of a carrot at the end of the stick for us.
For me, I think I was actually on one of the panels and like had a ton of fun up there talking to the audience, talking with a bunch of devs that I hadn't met before. I actually had a lot of fun too, just going out for beers with everyone that organized GDX after, and you know, hearing about their like whole trials and tribulations, getting the thing working, the things that went wrong, and the problems with the power, and like it was just like, it was really cool to see like sort of like the soft underbelly of GDX, relaxing and, you know, celebrating that like totally it went off awesome. It was just a great event.
I think it can't be said too much how, for being in its first year, GDX was like incredibly well put together. Like it looked like it could have been it's like, you know, its fifth year, an established thing, and everything was perfect. We got all the support we needed. It looked amazing, and it was a great place for us to present our game for the first time.
I'd say that for me, it's coming back a year later and saying, okay, that like stupid demo we showed you a year ago, it's launched now. It's a game. You can get it. Like we took this thing from nothing, and then, you know, started it out here, got like the momentum we needed, and like, you know, saw that people would actually play it and enjoy it, and then like just drudged through a year of like horrible suffering. Not really. It's actually a lot of fun making games a lot of the time. But at least some suffering, and then came out of it at the other end a year later, and like, have a thing, it's done, it's on the store, it's real.
It's funny having people play the game and they're like, wow, is this out already? Can I buy this? It looks ready to go. And it's like, really? We've got bigger plans for this thing. So it's going to be fun to return a year later with sort of what we had imagined originally, or some version of it.